Well, hello and welcome to another job. This is going to be another Aquascape Ecosystem job. As you can see, a little bit of work has already been done on site by the homeowner, which I'll explain in just a moment when I turn the camera around. So we're going to be having an Aquascape Ecosystem pond here. There's going to be fish. There's lots of koi and goldfish the homeowner already has in a previous pond. They will be moving into here. We're going to be having a waterfall with the biofalls up in this corner here. A couple of drops coming down. The main pond is going to be here. We have an intake bay in this section with a shallow sloping beach section, and the pond's going to extend that way. Customer's already got a mini digger in. He's taken out a couple of these old tree stumps, and we've also unearthed an old drain, and we know it's old. It's running down the end of the garden where there's an old man cover down there for used to be a static caravan before they moved in. So this is all dead. So this can all be sealed off. We can dig down here without any worries, and we get this all shaped out. Okay, so that area's been filled back in. I know it's got to come out again, but it's easier to work the shells with compacted soil. So got the external line spray painted out. This is going to be where the edge into the lawn is. The pond shape is going to be then drawn within this area, and this is all going to be hardscaped afterwards. So that's the next step, get the pond shape drawn out. Just a little halt in proceedings just to give you a little chat of where we are. It's been raining all morning. We're well into June now, and this weather is just a joke. Everything's pulling out of my boots, so it's yeah, it's a bit tricky at the minute. We're just trying to build up around this biofalls. As you've seen, I've put some decking boards between the concrete posts, so we're not pushing anything against those actual fence panels. I've got some rebar in front that's holding them all in place. I'm going to be building that berm up. There's going to be rocks and planting eventually around there. I'm going to get some decent topsoil in. I'm just using a lot of this clay soil at the minute, which is, at the minute when it's wet, it's just absolute nightmare to work with, just trying to form some sort of mound with it. As you saw, I've already got the intake bay area formed. I would have ideally liked to have less of a footprint of this. I wanted to go deeper. I wanted to go 2 of the blocks deep to get the same volume, but I don't know if you can just make out, it's raining again, just there, there's 2 power cables that run all the way along where I wanted to go deeper. I can't move those, so unfortunately I had to extend the length of the intake bay instead of the depth. So the idea is waterfalls coming down there. I've got 2 jets when that wall's formed, pushing all the water. It's going to be coming through over a rock similar to this, if not that very one. That's going to be my weir stone, sort of 4 to 6 inches of water coming over there into this intake bay, being pulled towards the pump. This is where all the floating debris is going to gather and can be netted out by the homeowner. We're a fair bit off that at the moment. Also, I don't know if you realised, I filled up that biofalls. I've got a valve on there, flow valve, last night. Just a couple of reasons, just to help biofalls settle more. Also lets me know if we've got any issues with the joints. If I started filling them in, any leaks, that's under a good bit of pressure. Everything's sound, water level is where it should be. And then I say there's going to be another ball valve with a pipe coming into the pond to push the water here, another one here before making its way down to the pump in the pump vault. But for now, just excavating this area, creating another shelf drop down. This is going to be a sheer drop on this side. The other side, we've got the scaffold boards. This is going to be sort of foamed off on this side, so the water's not going to be pulling across the intake bay through there, but it still allows me to have some aquatic planting on this kind of middle shelf area. Scaffold boards just there obviously for a bit of stability at the moment. But yeah, digging this down, going to have a big long fish cage using road drainage pipe all the way at the bottom there, open end, both ends. It'll be like a fish motorway for them, so lots of protection because the customer doesn't want this pond netted over. So just a bit of a pause there while this rain built it down even more. So I'm going to take a bit of cover. So as you probably gathered, I gave up yesterday over that rain. So back here today, I've made a good start. It's early afternoon now. Sun is baking. All this clay is drying up and going all crumbly. Can't win now. It was all clinging to my boots yesterday. So anyway, as you can see, I'm forming these shelves. I'm having to build up this end of the pond because the garden actually slopes down this way about 3 inches. So water level will be completely off with my freeboard level. So building this up here, going to run the pipe round in this trench here, like I say, cut the T's off, back to the pump vault. So really just excavating, building it up there. I've got some decent topsoil coming next day. Going to get that all built up there with that. Yeah, and I'll give you an update once it's a bit more shape in here. So everything is dug out now in terms of the shelving. Everything's been laser leveled across, so my levels are spot on throughout. What I'm going to do now, before I start getting the protective underlayment and overlayment and the actual EPDM liner in, I'm going to get some rocks up behind that biofalls just to build that back up for a better overall effect at the end. So I will show you what that looks like in a second. So I've got some retaining rocks at the back there, a couple down the side over here. That soil is going to be brought up to the level of those boards, so a lot of those rocks there will be covered. I've also cut out a couple of channels where my T-pieces are going to go for the pipes to go through here, acting as jets, just to force the water out this cove area onto the main area and then round to the intake bay. Let's get some underlay down. Well, that is the 8 metre by 8 metre EPDM liner in. That is the first time I have lifted one of these and put into place all by myself. It's around about 75 kilos. So I had to bear hug the roll of it into position, roll it out and very carefully work it over all these different shapes, making sure there's no stress or tension stretching on that liner, and then working them folds out as I go. Let's get the top cover in and we can get this intake bay all lined up with the aqua blocks. Okay, so as you can see now, got 7 small aqua blocks and 1 large one over there where the weir stone's going to be. Pump vault is in, all the plumbing is done from the pump out to the elbow there. We've got a dual union check valve there, which is going to stop any water returning back from the biofalls if we have a power cut. There's a flapper valve in there that's going to stop the water supply, so that's going to protect this from raising too much and losing the water from the biofalls. So that's all good in there. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to put the flow panels on top of here, which I'll show you in a minute. That's just going to add a little bit more protection for the top of these, secure them up and stop any of the smaller gravel bits falling through into the aqua blocks. So the intake bay is coming on nicely. I've got a plant that was in the previous area up there, replanted down here. Got this all gravelled in here, and then what I've done here, I've cut some row pipe down to size. This is going to be the fish cave. As you can see, I've just cut the bottom off so that's not going to roll. So once that's rocked on top of, that's not going anywhere. Going to get that gravelled in on this side, and then we're going to get the rocks built up to that edge there. Just another update, intake bay is all complete now. Just working our way around here. Got one of the jets connected, obviously that's going to be rocked over, the other one to go there. First layer, first shelf I should say, is up. Going to work our way up onto the second shelf now. So another update, I'm just slowly filling this pond up bit by bit. Water pressure isn't amazing here, so just as I work up a layer, I'm just filling it as I go. So you can see I've got some aquatic planting over there. We've got some zebra rushes, marsh marigold. I've got another marsh marigold, some rushes I rescued from the last pond. I've got a hosta over there. We've got the lilies down at the bottom. There's a white pickle over there. I've just pulled back all this liner that was going in front of the biofalls. Now I've worked my way around here. I'm going to start loading in some topsoil, start shaping that shelving a bit better. Now I've got some heavy sized boulders this side of the liner. I've got something to stack that soil against now, start compacting it down, building it up. The idea is to have the waterfall coming out, dropping down into a small pooling area. Then I want to get a split. I want to send some of the water this way, some of the water this way, just so it's got a lot of visual interest and hopefully some nice difference in sound as well. So let's get some soil loaded around there, and I'll show you where I am then. Well, I've skipped a few steps since the last video. The pond is now complete. I'm going to turn the camera around, run you through the pond, run you around what I've done, and then we're going to turn the waterfall on together. So all of the customers' fishes are back in now, enjoying their new home, exploring. If you remember, we've got the large fish cave that I built all the way under here, and there's also another fish cave under these rocks here. These jets are working lovely, giving some good flow of current across the pond. And like I say, the intake bay is doing its job. You get the net in here, easy access from the lawn side to the customer to maintain it. And we have the first visitor to the intake bay. So that is me all done on another pond build. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like anything like this creating in your garden, all my details are up here. On this one, the customer is going to finish off this edging himself where this grass is. Going to feather up some new soil, some seeding, something they want to do themselves. Normally it's something that I would include in the job as well. So just didn't want you to think that I'd left it looking like this. I protected it as best I could with boards, as you've seen throughout the job, but this is all going to be done by the homeowner. I was here for the pond is done. I will see you on the next one. I'm going to leave you with some sexy slow-mo of this feature. So this is the view and sound now, walking from the driveway into the back garden.